Hello and welcome back to, you guessed it, 365 Days with mxmtoon. As you know, I am Maia, the singer, songwriter, video maker, the Oakland native, and today, I'm also an international traveler. I'm also a big fan of history as well. I love untold stories, gross facts, hidden secrets, anything weird, dark, and funky from the past, so each day I'm going to share a few of my favorite deep cuts with you. So let's take a look at today's stories.
It's 365 with mxmtoon. New facts every day, so don't leave too soon. I'm gonna teach you stuff, no it won't be tough. Gonna go a year till you've had enough. It's 365 mxmtoon.
Today, in 1918, Iceland gained independence from Denmark. But let's reverse, way back. Geographically, Iceland is an island between Greenland and Norway. As far as recorded history goes, the first settling of Iceland was by Viking explorers from Norway and Britain in the late 9th century. The official year of people starting to live there was the year 874, but it's believed that some monks from Ireland had previously already visited and maybe lived on the land. After 874, the Norwegians who settled on the land quickly made it their own. It's believed that this first generation of settlers were either fleeing conflict, finding new land to farm, or both. Within 60 years, by 930, the settlers had set up a sense of a government, which they called Althing. This means that Iceland is one of the world's oldest parliaments. As the century came to a close, Christianity came to Iceland. It was heralded by Norwegian King Olaf Tryggvason. This period is known as the era of the Commonwealth of Iceland. Commonwealth is a term for a political community that's founded for the common good. Today, 4 U.S. states are still technically commonwealths: Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, and Virginia. By the 13th century, internal conflict had weakened the settlers' government, and Iceland fell into rule by Norway. At the time, Norway was ruled in conjunction with Sweden and Denmark. This was called the Kalmar Union. And when it ended, Iceland came under Danish rule. The way that Denmark managed the economy in the next few centuries made Iceland fall into poverty. In the 19th century, a movement towards independence emerged in Iceland. In 1843, the Althing was reinstated, and the first election of the modern era was held in 1844. The newly elected Althing met for the first time in 1845 in Reykjavik, and every 2 years the group assembled for 2 weeks with representatives from all over the island. In the 1800s, about 40,000 people lived in Iceland, which is about the same population as many U.S. suburbs today. Technically, the Althing didn't have any legislative power, but they did advise the Danish king on the situation in Iceland and tried to influence his decisions that affected the island. The most well-known leader of the movement for independence was named John Sigurðsson. He moved to Copenhagen as an adult and spent the rest of his life furthering the goal of Icelandic independence, as well as publishing and maintaining old Icelandic manuscripts. He led the Icelandic delegates in a fight against Danish legislation that ignored the wishes of Icelanders. Through this process, him and his colleagues coined the phrase "Vermótmælum allir," which means "we all protest." Iceland's national day is actually celebrated on Sigurðsson's birthday. Instead of today, it's Day of Independence. Iceland got its own constitution for the first time in August 1874. They got some level of autonomy, but executive power was still in the hands of the Danish. In 1904, they finally got a representative, a minister of Icelandic affairs, in the Danish government. Meanwhile, Iceland was going through some serious social changes. The population grew by so much that food supplies became unstable, and many people went hungry. Some Icelandic citizens even immigrated to North America, where cities along the east coast of the United States and Canada were growing fast. Things calmed down as the 20th century dawned, and both women and workers received full civil rights by 1910. At the same time, the fight for independence ramped up. The Althing, the Danish parliament, fought consistently for the early 1900s, but finally, on December 1st, 1918, Iceland became a free and sovereign state by order of the Danish-Icelandic Act of Union. Denmark and Iceland remained intertwined, in that Denmark managed Iceland's coast guard and foreign affairs. The ties between the two nations were not fully severed until 1944, when Iceland was declared not just independent, but also a republic. Iceland remains an incredibly unique country to this day, even 100 years after its independence. As for what Iceland is known for today, the biggest thing you've probably heard about is the Northern Lights. The northern lights are created by an interaction of solar particles with the Earth's magnetic field. And I don't know what that actually means, but it sounds cool. People flock to Iceland every year to see the aurora borealis in person. FYI, the best time to visit and see lights is from September to March. The lights aren't the only crazy thing about the atmosphere in Iceland. From May 21st till June 30th, it doesn't get dark at night. In the summer solstice, the sun is visible for 24 hours. Iceland is also a popular travel destination. From natural features like glaciers and waterfalls to a thriving culture where people believe in mythical creatures like elves and trolls. 60% of the country lives in the capital, Reykjavik. One of the most popular tourist attractions in the country is the plentiful hot springs. You get to bathe in natural pools heated by volcanoes? Yeah, let's go tomorrow. Iceland also has its very own breed of horse, named coincidentally the Icelandic Horse, which is known as one of the purest horse breeds in the world, as well as for its muscular physique and fluffy long hair in the winter months. They're also way friendlier than most wild horses. They come up to tourists and are happy to be photographed. Again, can we go tomorrow? Iceland is also known for its commitment to environmental sustainability. Most of the electricity is produced via renewable energy sources, and Reykjavik won the Nordic Nature and Environmental Prize in 2014. The city plans on being carbon neutral by 2040. Iceland isn't just at the top of environmental development. The people are also some of the most gifted writers in the world. 1 in 10 Icelanders will publish a book in their lifetime. Let's switch over to our music fact. Today, we have an extremely special guest, Chloe Moriondo, who also happens to be one of my friends. I adore Chloe. She's incredible. We got to tour with each other last year, which feels like ages ago because touring is just not something that we do anymore. And she's been on a roll with releasing some of the most amazing tracks I've ever heard. Here she is. Chloe, take it away.
The day in my life that is memorable that I'd like to talk about is December 1st, 2018, which was my first show. It was definitely really important to me and really memorable because it was the first time I ever had my own lyrics sung back at me. And it kind of showed me that people in real life are actually listening to my music and supporting me. So it made me really happy.
We actually have a second special guest on today's episode. Some of you may remember I asked you to send over your stories for December 1st in your life. And after reading through tons of great tales, we have May here to talk to you about this day in their life.
On December 1st, 2017, my first quote-unquote girlfriend asked me on a date. Quotes because it lasted about a week and a half and was the most awkward experience of my life. This may not seem significant, but as a young high school freshman coming to terms with her sexuality, this was an extremely important event. I had grown up going to a very tiny school in the Deep South and had never been in any kind of relationship beforehand, let alone with another girl. While it was incredibly awkward, I learned so much about myself. I learned that I am in fact gay. I learned that relationships are so much more than just holding hands. I learned that my love language is gift giving. The point is, we can all learn something from our most awkward moments.
And now for our final segment of the day, I'm going to be going into my own photo archives to see what I was up to on a December 1st in my life. December 1st, I think it's my first TikTok. Yeah, I made my first TikTok on December 1st, 2018. Oh man, 2 years ago? Feels like TikTok's been around for ages. It was the TikTok of, I think it's Rockefeller Street is the name of the song. And it's like, tonight is a showtime. Go 1, 2, 3, go from something, you know the song. And that was one of the earliest TikTok trends I think that ever happened. And I got to it just in time. It was pretty epic. I don't feel like old on TikTok anymore, or at least I missed the trends from like old TikTok in a way that I think a lot of the new users probably never even got to see those. But yeah, made my first TikTok and still going at it. Thanks so much for rediscovering Iceland with me, and remember to listen tomorrow and through all of December and into next year. If you please, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and follow at 365 Days mxmtoon on your preferred social media platforms.
It's 365 with mxmtoon. New facts every day, so don't leave too soon. I'm gonna teach you stuff, no it won't be tough. Gonna go a year till you've had enough. It's 365